Men will never be emotionally intelligent like women are. If you're hoping for an emotional bond with a man similar to the one that you have with your girlfriends, that's literally not possible. So for all the girls out there who are dating their boyfriends and they're like, well, emotional intelligence can be fixed by therapy and awareness and exercising their empathy. Mm-mm. If you're not happy where they're at right now, you shouldn't be dating them. We don't date potential. And honestly, a lot of the times guys will front like they're empathetic and actually emotionally intelligent, and they're not. I dated a bisexual lawyer who did cases for underprivileged people like pro bono, and I thought he had a heart of gold. That's true, but his emotional intelligence, even doing work like that, like a peanut. The best case scenario is that you're dating someone who is financially responsible enough and emotionally intelligent enough for you to be happy. Anything less than that, cut, because you will regret it. And stay single.
So this video I came across, I find real interesting because I see this topic floating around and it's interesting to me. You feel me? Like, you hearing that men don't have emotional intelligence from this creator, but how do you define emotional intelligence? I think advice like this keeps other women single because it's really people just making up their own definitions, man. Is a man not emotionally intelligent because he doesn't express himself like a woman? Like one of her girlfriends, as she stated? Because he doesn't always agree with you? Just because a man may not shout back in a argument or cry on cue doesn't necessarily make him emotionally unintelligent. He just expresses himself differently. And I think a lot of women have to understand our differences as men and women. I would argue that a man that knows what battles to pick, what battles not to fight, is emotionally intelligent. You feel me? If there's a woman that's always yelling at her husband, always bringing up when she's mad, and that doesn't necessarily make her emotionally intelligent. It makes her emotional and loud. Because is she processing his reactions? Is she taking into consideration how he feels about the subject? Or is she just trying to get out how she feels and is selfish about the matter? You feel me? And what he feels doesn't really matter. It's all about what she feels. That ain't emotional intelligence. That's just speaking to be heard and not to listen. Are some men truly disconnected? Yeah, it's true. But a lot of men are emotionally intelligent. Because there'll be a man, he be with his lady and she mad about something, and he's gonna think, okay, she wants to argue about it, and he's like, all right, he knows what battles to pick, he knows what wars to fight. He's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna let her get her emotions out because I know right now that's what's most important to her. Being heard. He's gonna listen and he's gonna process those feelings, and he's gonna act accordingly because men express themselves differently. A lot of times us men, we express ourselves through our actions. You feel me? So just because he's not reacting the way she would want him to react doesn't make him emotionally unintelligent. So instead of her acknowledging and respecting the differences between men and women and trying to learn how he processes his emotions, she may write him off and be like, oh, red flag, I gotta leave him, girl, red flag. Like, but according to what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what rule book did you make up? Because he's not agreeing with you all the time, because he's not acting like one of your girlfriends. And then you may have a creator such as this woman, respect to her, no bashing at all, they'll say, hey, leave him if he's not emotionally intelligent. And then there'll be a woman that listens to that advice, fuck around, leave a good man. For what? Because he doesn't react the way you would like him to react? Doesn't that make her self-centered? I'm just saying. I think sometimes empathy can be expressed in, actions you don't take. If you know your woman is in pain and she has something on her mind and she's expressing herself, a dude could be like, yo, all right, I'm going to sit here, right? I'm going to listen. I'm going to process her emotions. I'm going to put myself on her shoes and try to understand her perspective. He knows that if he interjects at that moment, it's probably going to get worse because she's going to feel like, oh, you're not listening to me. Even though he is, he's trying to get his point across, but she like, oh, it's about her right now. So he might put himself last, put her before him and be like, okay, cool. I'm going to let you get yours off. You know what I'm saying? And just because he not reacting the way she want, don't mean he not emotionally intelligent. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a false narrative out there. I think for the longest, men have been taught to learn women, to know women in order to win them over. And women have been taught to find a man that learns them and knows them. And it makes things lopsided. She's like, what can you do for me? How can you make me happy? The women out there that try to really know their man and learn their man, understand why he processes his emotions the way he does, and you know what I'm saying? Like, those be the ones with the most success, especially if they attractive, man. Because to a lot of men, it just seems so rare these days. But let me know what y'all think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. Always love reading y'all thoughts. Hit that like button. Till next time, baby, I'm out.